Hello, good evening, Kak Ikram.
Hello, good evening, Miss Aurel.
So, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. And
Good.
I already sent you the schedule, the new schedule, and you gave me feedback. So, I'm going to
Yes.
show you this note. Wait for a moment. This is our lesson plan. And you told me that you can do Monday and Wednesday schedule, but 7 p.m. Western Indonesian time.
Yes.
And then for Saturday, please change to morning, preferably
Morning.
at 10 Western Indonesian time. And
Yes.
Sunday, you cannot do any meeting.
Yes. Sports Sunday I
All right.
cannot.
But
Sorry, can you on Saturday? Can you do
yes,
it on 9?
I can do it Saturday.
I mean 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock
If if that's
Western
okay for
Indonesian
you.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be fine.
So
But I will check if there's another student already booked for me at this hour. But
all right.
I think it's still available for you.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Because
that's
this is
good if
a
you
urgent
can.
class. You told me that I have to finish it earlier, like
Yes,
30
I'm
of
so
May.
sorry
So
about that.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. Okay. So yesterday we already learned listening section 1 and 2. And today,
Yes.
for the first part, 30 minutes, I'm going to show you listening section 3 and 4, tips and trick again. And then after that,
Okay.
we can continue our practice yesterday for the listening part 2, part 3, and part 4. Okay. And then I remember that you will have an IELTS mock test,
Right.
and I put it on the end of our period. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay.
All
But
right.
I'm not sure how about the date?
The date is actually up to you.
Oh, all right. So I just do it online.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
online
all right.
without the tutor.
Okay. All right. Oh,
If
sorry.
you Mhm.
So from 25 until 29, there's no lesson. I mean,
No,
there's no meeting.
no, because wait, let me rearrange the schedule again to
Oh, yeah,
meet
yeah, yeah. Oh,
this
yeah, yeah,
this
sure.
requirement. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, Sunday I cannot do it.
Yeah, so I need to remove Sunday and change the other
But
schedule as well.
oh, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, and then for IELTS mock test, I recommend you to do it at the end of the period. So yeah, it will maximize your potential by listening to
Okay.
the tips and trick first, and then you do the mock test at the end.
Focus.
And if you
Oh,
want to do the mock test, you can simply just chat me and I will request the admin because I'm not the admin for the
yeah.
IELTS website, and they will give you the link to
Oh,
start the
okay.
test.
All right. Got it.
Okay, so yeah, that's it about the terms and conditions and some of the reschedulement. And now let's jump
Yes.
into our lesson, listening part 2.
Okay.
And for listening part 2, we have to enhance comprehension and attention to detail. Why? Because simply in part 3 and part 4, the recording is longer. So you have to pay
Oh,
attention. And then for
oh,
part 1 and part 2, they simply just say the answer. But for part 3 and part 4, you have to conclude it by yourself.
oh.
And as usual, before we start our lesson, let's say our slogan English with no more practice, no more theories, let's practice. Let's say it together English with
Yes. English with
no more
no more
theories,
no more theories.
let's practice.
Let's practice.
Okay, that's great. This is some of the question types that we learned yesterday. We learned about completing table and forms, multiple choice, labeling maps and plans, and matching. Now we will
Okay.
continue with the rest 4 of the question types, starting with labeling diagram and flowchart.
Okay. It's a bit quite
And
hard.
yeah, I guess so. Sometimes even for the upper intermediate level test taker, they may get wrong answer on section 3 and 4 because there are more than one person discuss about something. And it is usually educational or academic topics, talking about academic paper or assignment, and some people talk about school facility. You might consider this section difficult and confusing because you will hear more than one person talk, and the vocabulary they use is more technical than section 1 and section 2.
Okay.
What about listening part 4? Listening part 4 is one person talking, usually a professor or a teacher talking about academic subject. Or you may also find a tour guide explaining about something, or
Okay.
anyone professional talking about their field. This section
Okay.
is challenging because of the higher level of a language, of course, because they explain about something and they must use a lot of technical word that you may not know if you are not familiar.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so now let's go to the question type 5, labeling diagram and flowcharts. This is the example, and please listen to this. Wait, I forgot to share the sound. Please wait for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now listen and
Can you listen to that?
Yes, I can listen.
Okay.
answer questions 25 to 30.
So, shall we plan what we have to do for this assignment?
Okay.
First, we have to decide on our research question. So, how about, is there a relationship between hours of sleep and number of dreams?
Okay. Then we need to think about who we'll do the study on. About 12 people?
Right. And shall we use other psychology students?
Let's use people from a different department. What about history?
Yes, they might have interesting dreams. Or literature students.
I don't really know any.
Okay, forget that idea. Then we have to think about our methodology. So we could use observation, but that doesn't seem appropriate.
No. It needs to be self-reporting, I think. And we could ask them to answer questions online.
But in this case, paper might be better, as they'll be doing it straight after they wake up. In fact, while they're still half asleep.
Right. And we'll have to check the ethical guidelines for this sort of research.
Because our experiment involves humans, so there are special regulations.
Yes. I had a look at those for another assignment I did. There's a whole section on risk assessment, and another section on making sure they aren't put under any unnecessary stress.
Let's hope they don't have any bad dreams.
Yeah.
Then, when we've collected all our data, we have to analyse it and calculate the correlation between our two variables. That's time sleeping and number of dreams. And then present our results visually in a graph.
Right, and the final thing is to think about our research and evaluate it. So that seems quite straightforward.
Yeah. So now let's get started.
It's a bit quite hard. Yeah.
Oh, really? You find it quite hard?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy because I can read it and
Oh,
listen it.
yeah, of course.
But on
So,
the quiz,
mhm.
it's gonna be, I mean, yeah, a bit hard.
I see. I have a tips actually for flowchart. In my opinion, in my
Okay.
personal experience, flowcharts is easier than the one multiple answer. For multiple
Oh, it's
answer, you
easier.
don't know
Uh-huh.
which this one. Yang there's A, B, C until H, and then you have to
Yes.
pick 3 or 4 answer.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
harder because of
Oh,
what?
yeah, yeah.
In flowcharts, you have sequence. You have sequence, right?
Sequence. Oh, yes.
Urutan.
Yeah.
And if you already hear about this, is there a relationship? Then you can move on to another one. because they will be expected to speak about this one. That's how you keep on track on the recording.
Oh, but on the IELTS test, I mean, I can read the assignment plan like this.
Yes, of course.
All right.
But they will leave it in blank.
Blank, yes.
Just blank here, 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 and here.
All right.
But you
Oh,
can
okay,
read
okay,
the
I get it.
whole flowchart like this.
All right. Okay, okay. Oh,
So I
yeah.
think
If I can read it like this, it should be more easier than the
yeah.
multiple.
Yeah, of course it is easier because they show you a lot of words. The more words they give, the easier the question is it. It is
All right.
like that.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now let's
Four
continue with
times.
the second type. The second type is short answer question. This one, I will range it into intermediate level. It's not so easy, but it's not also that hard.
Oh,
Answer according to the word limit. So you will see something like this, and the tips is the same like the previous one, flowchart. You can keep
mhm.
on track because they will speak in sequence. But before, you will be
Oh,
given some time to check the keyword, and you can try to make notes on what are you expecting on the recording. So for example, whether it has a blah 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 of its own, it must be a noun. So you have to
mhm.
listen to the noun. This one, the noun as well. Noun, noun, and this one,
Oh,
noun, noun. So you can, okay, if the speaker is talking a noun, it might be the answer. Like that.
sorry.
Kalau misalkan speakernya, recordingnya sedang
Uh-huh.
bicara sebuah kata benda, kemungkinan itu
Yeah.
jawabannya.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gitu. Jadi kalau kita lihat di sini, so if we see here some keyword and it is being
Yes.
said,
Whether it
diucapkan
has.
from the speaker, from the recording,
Yes.
the word after it may be the answer.
The word after it, or maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but not all of them because there's distractor as well. Ada distractornya. Sometimes
Okay.
after they say budget, they say something else and then they come back to budget.
Oh, sometimes they repeat it again.
Yeah.
Back to the. Okay.
Like for this one, history. But first time they didn't say history. They say psychology.
Yes. Psychology.
And then we can say, okay, we can choose someone from other department, history. And after that, they still considering to take literature department. Literature department. But
Yeah.
after that, never mind. So it's canceled
So
like
they.
that.
So it's better to choose the less.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the last, but sometimes it is not.
Oh, okay.
Let's listen to this recording. My cursor will show you when the answer is being spoken.
Okay.
Now listen and answer questions 24 to 30.
I've just had an idea. Why don't we make an in-depth study of our local public library as background to our paper?
Yes, that'd be interesting. And raise all sorts of issues. Let's make a list of possible things we could ask about, then work out some sort of structure. For instance, we could interview some of the staff and find out whether the library has its own budget or if that's controlled by the local council.
And what their policies are. I know they don't allow food, but I'd love to find out what types of noise they ban. There always seems to be a lot of talking, but never music. I don't know if that's a policy or it just happens.
I've often wondered. Then there are things like how the library is affected by employment laws. I suppose there are rules about working hours, facilities for staff and so on.
Right. Then there are other issues relating to the design of the building and how customers use it. Like, what measures does the library take to ensure their safety? They'd need floor coverings that aren't slippery, At emergency exits, for instance.
Mm.
Oh, and another thing, there's the question of the kind of insurance the library needs to have in case anyone gets injured.
Yes, that's something else to find out. You know something I've often wondered?
What's that?
Well, you know they've got an archive of local newspapers going back years. Well, next to it, they've got the diary of a well-known politician from the late 19th century. I wonder why it's there. Do you know what his connection was with this area?
No idea. Let's add it to our list of things to find out. Oh, I've just thought. You know, people might ask in the library about local organisations like sports clubs. Well, I wonder if they keep a database or whether they just look online.
Right. I quite fancy finding out what the differences are between a library that's open to the public and one that's part of a museum, for example. They must be very different.
Then something else I'd like to know is...
So, what do you think about this recording?
Yes, yeah, it's a bit quite difficult because jawabannya kadang kebalik.
Yeah,
Ada yang di depan, ada yang di belakang.
like this one, lost employment. The speaker said
Yeah.
employment loss.
Employment first, and they said loss
Yeah,
at
that's
at
correct.
the end.
Mhm.
Okay, but
And
it more structure than the
then
multiple choice.
then this one? Oh, then multiple choice. Yeah, of course.
Then multiple choice. Yes.
Yeah. This is really hard, especially if they allow you to pick multiple answer.
Yes, it's quite difficult.
Mhm. And for this one, because it is part 24 until 30 is part 3. So
Part
the
3?
speakers speak faster, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, I heard. But tone-nya lebih kencang nggak? Kadang.
Yes, the accent.
Yeah, okay.
They have stronger accent than before, right?
Yes.
And then they also have a more pressure on the what is that? On the answer. Like
On the answer?
safety. He said it she
Yes.
said it like that. Safety. Okay. So let's continue with the next type, completing sentence and summary. Actually, this one is similar with the previous one, but for this one, they put less word on your paper and you have to guess
Mhm.
what is in the blank. And again, my tip is the same. If you see the structure, you can guess what kind of word you might need. 2, always followed by a verb. So you can only
A
put a
verb.
verb here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More. More is comparative. So you have to put what is it? After more?
Measure.
Yep. Adjective. Kata sifat. Kalau yang
Kata
ini kata
sifat.
kerja, yang ini kata
Kata
sifat.
kerja.
Mhm. And then this one. Blah blah blah, them. Before an object, it must be a verb.
Verb.
Sebelum kata objek pasti ada predikatnya. Predikatnya biasanya berupa verb. So you
Verb.
have to put a verb there.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me take a note
Yeah.
for section 4.
But for this one, I think it's a little bit more difficult than the previous one because they put less word. So it is only the
Yes.
conclusion. They do not put something that is being spoken. You have to conclude it by yourself.
Conclude. Okay.
Let's try it.
And what about the lecturers themselves? Are they essentially the same as lecturers in your country?
Well, actually, no. Here they're much easier to approach. After every lecture, you can go and ask them something you didn't understand, or you can make an appointment and talk to them about anything in the course.
Maybe you found them different because you're a more mature student now, whereas when you were studying in your country, you were younger and not so assertive.
No, I don't think that's the difference. Most of the students here do it. In my faculty, they all seem to make appointments, usually to talk about something in the course that's worrying them, but sometimes just about something that might really interest them, something they might want to specialize in. The lecturers must set aside certain times every week when they're available for students.
That's good to hear.
But I didn't get the mature one.
Oh, really? You didn't get this one?
Yes. Paul suggested.
Maybe because it's fast, really fast.
Yes.
Mm.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's
Mature
fine.
than. Okay. Then
Mature
what
than
is
she was
yours?
studying. But then she was studying in her home country. Dia bilangnya gitu tadi. Tapi di sini tulisannya she was studying before. So
Oh.
it's different. And I think that
Okay.
you might be maybe more mature than she was studying in your home country. Tadi bilang gitu dia.
Mhm.
Jadi ya.
Agak tricky ya.
Iya, betul. Sebenarnya for listening, you don't have to like take any course for it. It's just about practice. Listening and reading is just about practice. But for speaking
Okay.
and writing, I have to tell you that you have to take a tutor because I have a tutor myself. So yeah, it's hard to practice by yourself for those
Practice,
two.
yes.
And
Okay.
then the last one is completing notes. Generally speaking, in section 3 and 4, most of them are talking about completing something. So the tips is always the same for all of them. Like that.
Okay. Completing notes.
And for section 4, it is the difficulty level is higher because not only you have to listen to technical words, but you also have to answer 10 questions in a row without any break. If
Oh,
you remember the
wow.
previous part, 1 until 10, you may listen from 1 until 6 and then you get a break. After that, you can listen from 7 to 10, right
Okay.
there. But for section
Yes.
4, it might likely to show all 10 questions at once.
At
So you have
once.
shorter time to read them and to answer them.
No break.
Yeah, no break.
Oh, okay.
And what about your previous test? Is it computer-based or paper-based? Your previous
Oh,
one,
it's paper-based.
paper-based. But right now,
Yes.
it is computer-based, right?
Yeah.
I suggest you, if you listen to a question, to an answer maybe, you can just type it right away to your computer.
What do you mean? Sorry?
Type
Just type it? Uh-huh.
type it right away. Langsung ditulis aja di komputernya.
Kalau yakin nggak yakin langsung tulis aja.
Yeah, because the later you put it, you will forget it.
Oh, okay.
Atau, actually I have two options. You have to
Uh-huh.
determine by yourself. If you feel like you type faster than writing, you have to type it.
Uh-huh.
But if you feel
Okay.
like you write faster, you can write it on your paper.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the section, they will give you some time to put the answer to the computer.
The computer.
Yep. But unfortunately, I don't think the time given is enough to transfer the answer.
Yes. Maybe they give me like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's only 30 seconds. So I guess that it's better for you just type it right away on your computer.
Okay.
And right now, if I show you the practice like this, you can try to answer it on your computer. Like if you use a computer right now, just
Yes.
open a notepad, open a
Yeah.
notepad like this, and then type it right away.
Okay.
On your test day, the answer is will be typed directly here. Jadi
Oh
kalau
yeah,
nanti
yeah.
di tesnya mereka beneran kasih ini, di sini ada kolomnya gitu, and then we type right there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my tip. Maybe useful for you.
Okay, thank you. I'll
And
try
remember
it.
to write in capital letter, okay?
Capital, yes.
Yes, okay. But this one is not in capital letter. I don't know why. It's not me who makes the product.
Oh yeah, the English bit.
Yeah, I'm just a tutor here. Let's listen to the exercise.
Okay.
Part 4. You will hear an archaeology student giving a presentation on an important site in Ireland called the Cagey Fields. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Discovery.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
For my presentation today, I'm going to talk about the Cagey Fields in the northwest of Ireland, one of the largest Neolithic sites in the world. I recently visited this site and observed the work that is currently being done by a team of archaeologists there. The site was first discovered in the 1930s by a local teacher, Patrick Caulfield. He noticed that when local people were digging in the bog, they were constantly hitting against what seemed to be rows of stones. He realized that these must be walls, and that they must be thousands of years old for them to predate the bog which subsequently grew over them. He wrote to the National Museum in Dublin to ask them to investigate, but no one took him seriously. It wasn't until 40 years later, when Patrick Caulfield's son, Seamus, who had become an archaeologist by then, began to explore further. He inserted iron probes into the bog to map the formation of the stones, a traditional method which local people had always used for finding fuel buried in the bog for thousands of years. Carbon dating later proved that the site was over 5,000 years old and was the largest Neolithic site in Ireland. Thanks to the bog which covers the area, the remains of the settlement at Cagey Fields, which is over 5,000 years old, are extremely well preserved. A bog is 90% water, its soil so saturated that when the grasses and heathers that grow on its surface die, they don't fully decay but accumulate in layers. Objects remain so well preserved in these conditions because of the acidity of the peat and the deficiency of oxygen. At least 175 days of rain a year are required for this to happen. This part of Ireland gets an average of 225 days. The Neolithic farmers at Cagey would have enjoyed several centuries of relative peace and stability. Neolithic farmers generally lived in larger communities than their predecessors, with a number of houses built around a community building. As they lived in permanent settlements, Neolithic farmers were able to build bigger houses. These weren't round, as people often assume, but rectangular, with a small hole in the roof that allowed smoke to escape. This is one of many innovations and indicates that the Neolithic farmers were the first people to cook indoors. Another new technology that Neolithic settlers brought to Ireland was pottery. Fragments of Neolithic pots have been found in Keiji and elsewhere in Ireland. The pots were used for many things, as well as for storing food. Pots were filled with a small amount of fat, and when this was set alight, they served as lamps. It's thought that the Keiji fields were mainly used as paddocks for animals to graze in. Evidence from the Keiji fields suggests that each plot of land was of a suitable size to sustain an extended family. They may have used a system of rotational grazing in order to prevent overgrazing and to allow for plant recovery and regrowth. This must have been a year-round activity, as no structures have been found which would have been used to shelter animals in the winter. However, archaeologists believe that this way of life at Keiji ceased abruptly. Why was this? Well, several factors may have contributed to the changing circumstances. The soil would have become less productive and led to the abandonment of farming. The crop rotation system was partly responsible for this, as it would have been very intensive and was not sustainable. But there were also climatic pressures too. The farmers at Keiji would have enjoyed a relatively dry period, but this began to change, and the conditions became wetter as there was a lot more rain. It was these conditions that encouraged the bog to form over the area, which survives today. So now I'd like to show you some...
Okay.
That is the
so
end of
that's
part
the
4.
end.
You now have
And yep. What do you think about that?
I think I have to write more of the
More of what? I'm sorry, I don't know how to
sorry.
say.
I think maksudnya kayak harus catat beberapa kata
Mm-hmm. But you can
kayak
understand the whole
iya
context,
iya
right?
iya I can understand. Jadi harus catat beberapa kata yang dia bilang dan
Yep.
bikin kesimpulan yang mana kira-kira jawaban yang benar di antara kata yang
Yes,
dicatat itu.
that's correct.
Okay.
So that's the purpose of the giving you a piece of paper at your testing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and now the general tips, what matter the most, the main ideas and the supporting detail. Give attention to the detail will help to find the correct and accurate answer, and that's why you are given a time to check to the question first so that you can guess what kind of information you will need from the recording. And then pay attention and note taking while listen to the recording practice as you have said before. And familiarize yourself with a range of accent. I believe that you familiar with Australian accent because you live in Australia.
Yes.
But you may need to listen more to British accent as well because
British.
it is the most common accent in IELTS listening. And then practice with listening to the recording only once and follow the instruction. Remember to follow the instruction. If the instruction is one word only, then you should only put one word on
One word.
the blank. Otherwise, even though your answer is correct, it will mark as incorrect.
Incorrect. Capital and number
Yep.
as well.
Capital letter again.
I mean, if it's number, I should write 7. I mean, angka 7 atau tulisan
It
7.
depends on the instruction again.
Oh,
If the
okay.
instructions say one word or
One
a
word.
number, so you can put number 7 like that.
Uh-huh.
Or SEVEN, that's fine. But if the what is that? The
Instruction.
instructions say you can
Word.
only put a number, then only put 7 like that.
Okay.
So you have to follow the instruction no
The
matter what it
instruction.
is. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And then pay attention to the tone, rhythm, and pauses. Listen to English podcasts and try to summarize the point. On the boot camp, on the IELTS boot camp, not a
Uh-huh.
private class, they usually give us a podcast every day, and we need to summarize the whole point
The
from
point.
that podcast.
Oh, it's quite hard.
Try to repeat and recall the important
Information.
information such as names, number, and locations. Sometimes it is hard for us to recall the information in a short time, so better for you to scribble on your paper. Coret-coret aja di kertasnya.
Uh-huh.
And then this is some biggest challenges. Stay focused, practice, listen to first section, and practice listening to things only once. And that's it. And now let's jump into here. Yesterday we
Okay.
finished part 1, and now we will continue from part 2, number 11, until number 14.
Okay. I hope I can get it right now.
Wait.
Zoe goes to talk to her academic advisor.
Can you hear that? Is that clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay. Please tell me if you feel like the audio is too slow so I can make it louder.
Okay.
Part 2. Zoe goes to talk to her academic advisor.
First, look at questions 11 to 14.
Oh, jadi ini diurutin ya maksudnya ya?
Not really. Ini kayaknya bisa dibolak-balik kok, Kak, jawabannya.
Oh, okay.
Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
How are you getting on, Zoe? Feeling at home yet?
Well, more or less. There are still some things I need to buy, and I haven't found my way to all the facilities yet, but I really love the campus, and I've already made a few friends.
Fantastic. Now let's see what we can do to get your studies off to the right start too. You're on the foundation course, so you can take up to 8 modules. What we advise is that you take 4 modules in the first semester and, assuming everything goes well, 4 in the second. Have you decided which you want to take in this semester?
I haven't made my mind up yet. I can't decide whether to take Principles of Marketing or Introduction to International Trade.
Well, that depends on your career goal. You're planning to work in the biotechnology sector, aren't you?
Well, that's my present thinking, but I guess I might change my mind.
Right, well, marketing is a broad general subject that you will find really useful in a number of careers. International trade, on the other hand, is more specific. That's fine if you're sure it's the sort of work you want to do. A lot of students start off thinking about that option because it seems glamorous, but marketing can also be an exciting career, and there's a wide choice of jobs. Maybe you ought to wait until your career ideas are a bit more definite before you go down that road.
Yes, I see. I could take International Trade next year, couldn't I?
Sure. You could do international finance as well. So, in your first semester, you've got Principles of Marketing, Introduction to Economics, Banking and Finance, and let's see, Principles of Financial Accounting. How do you feel about that as a package?
It's okay, I think.
Before the broadcast continues, look at questions 15 to 20.
Listen carefully and answer questions 15 to 20.
But I'm a bit worried about the maths. There'll be some statistics to do, won't there?
Basic statistics, yes, but nothing more difficult than your last year of school maths.
I know, but our maths syllabus was a bit old-fashioned. Mostly algebra, geometry, trigonometry and stuff, hardly any stats.
Right, well, it sounds as if you could do with the maths brush-up course. Can I arrange for you to attend just the classes on statistics, if you like?
That'd be great. I didn't want to do the whole of maths again, but the stats classes would make me feel much more confident, thanks.
Hang on a minute, there's one more thing. You're English. Now, you know you have to reach a satisfactory standard in English by the end of your first year to be allowed to go on to the main BSc course.
Yeah, now I'm in an English-speaking environment, and I have to speak English all the time. I'm sure I'll be all right.
It certainly helps, but everything. You'll have to get your reading up to the standards where you can understand the books on your course reading list quickly to get the information and ideas you need to write your essays. That means you have to develop a high level of comprehension skills. You'll never get through the course material if you try to read the books intensively from cover to cover. That's why our language skills development program gives you a series of graded academic texts to study and answer questions on a limited time. You'll probably find it hard at first, having to work against the clock without a dictionary.
How can I improve my skimming and scanning skills?
Good question. For that, you'll have to do a range of specially designed exercises. Sometimes these will be from a transparency, because it is often how the lecture material is presented.
Sometimes I think I'll never learn all the vocabulary. English is such an enormous language.
I know what you mean. English is the biggest language ever, at least 350,000 words. Even Winston Churchill only knew 60,000, so they say. But as an academic student, you can get a lot of help from the academic word list by Avril Coxhead of Victoria University. That's in Wellington, New Zealand.
I've studied word lists, of course, but how does this one help?
The academic word list is based on a survey of 3.5 million words of academic text. It contains 570 families of the words most commonly found in academic texts. Well, that's apart from the 2,000 most useful words in English. They come in a separate list. You can see copies of both in the library.
You said word families. Do you mean words that are similar?
In a way, yes. It means that all the different grammatical forms of a word are listed together, so you can see the nouns, verbs, adjectives, forms with prefixes and suffixes and so forth. It'll be clearer when you look at it. Anyway, Avril Coxhead gives you really great hints about how to learn the words, so it shouldn't be too daunting.
The trouble is, I tend to forget the words I learn.
Well, there are two ways you can tackle that. First, always try to learn the words in a context. Either learn a whole sentence using a word, or learn a phrase that the word typically comes in. We call phrases like that collocations.
That's a new one on me. Collocations. I'd better make a note of it.
You do that. You can find collocations in most modern dictionaries. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a second study aid I recommend for vocabulary learning. When you get an assignment, take a sheet of paper and write 4 headings. Words I can use, words I can recognise but can't use, words I'm not sure of, words I don't know. Don't bother with the simple words, of course. Then go back after 2 weeks and look at the list again. Can you move any of the words into a better column?
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to Part 3. Part 3. You will hear a conversation between 2 students working on a presentation. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 21 to 24.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Hey Chris, thanks for coming. Are you ready to practice our presentation for tomorrow?
Yeah, just give me a moment to switch on my laptop. There we go. Okay, what do you think?
Wow, that actually looks really nice. Well done. So
I put the title up here in the middle, Reasons People Move Out of Their Parents' Homes. I thought we could start with the general graph outlining why people fly the nest at any age, and then we could break it down to age groups and social or ethnic backgrounds before we get into how our findings fit into what sociologists say about leaving your parents' house and what the effects of the timing and the circumstances of your decision can be.
that sounds good to me. So we can start with the bar chart here. Do you think they'll be able to read the tiny letters here?
No, which is why we'll have to read them out to them.
Okay, so we could take turns then. I'd start with bar A, which says that the number one reason that young people leave home is to go to college or university.
Exactly. And then I'd go on to the second bar, which gives the number of people who said they felt smothered by their parents' control over their lives and decided to get their own house to avoid that.
Right. Then in bar C, we've got people who found a job and decided that it was a good opportunity to move away because of their new income.
Yep, and then those who didn't feel exactly smothered by their parents per se, but more so because of the lack of room in their parents' house and the fact that their parents were around pretty much 90% of the time.
Maybe we should move this bar so that it can be next to bar B, since they seem to be quite similar to each other.
Well, actually, that's why I kept them separate. But maybe you're right. They would lead smoothly into one another. So that means that jobs will now be bar D and bar E.
Bar E is about those who moved because of their partner or spouse.
Right. And then at the end, we've got those who were pushed to leave by their parents and those who left because of a conflict at home.
I guess at this point we should mention that, as expected, we had almost 0 people reply that they left home because of emancipation or abuse, despite the fact that our study was conducted anonymously, probably because the participants didn't feel confident enough to share such private details with us. Or maybe just because there was no one in our pool of participants with such experiences.
Yeah.
You now have 30 seconds to look at questions 25 and 30.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 25 to 30.
So then we can break it down to age groups and show these 4 different graphs for our 4 age groups. Under 18s, 18 to 20, 21 to 24, and 25 and above.
Shall we take the graphs by age, or should we start with the second group? What do you think? Because we haven't got that much data on under 18s. And starting with 25 and above would also feel a bit strange to me, seeing as it was our second smallest group, and most participants were between 18 and 24 when they moved out of their parents' home.
Yeah, you're right. Perhaps we should start with our 2 biggest groups and then move on to the other 2.
So, you can present 18 to 20, and I can present 21 to 24. And then we can maybe present the other 2 groups together.
I think it's best if we present them separately, since the findings are so different.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So, I can present the under 18s, and you can present the 25 and over.
Perfect. Or, wait, should we do it the other way round, so it flows more naturally?
Yeah, sure. And then we can include a brief note at the end for those who haven't moved out yet.
Yeah, great.
Excellent. So, then we can move on to the final chart before we get to the bibliography and explain what they said they found difficult when they moved out.
Yeah, so we can say the biggest issue for everyone was finding a place to live, especially for those who didn't have a guarantor or didn't live in a student hall of residence.
Yes, and that 30% of the participants also experienced some financial problems in the beginning, with bills and rent and food and everything.
Right. Then an even larger number reported that they didn't expect to miss their family that much, but ended up visiting their parents' home often just to see them and spend some time with them.
Although, we should probably cut that number down a notch to exclude those who went back home just so their parents could cook and do their laundry for them.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, then we should finish off with the final issue, which was flatmates.
Oh, yeah. So, we should say that a whopping 67% complained about the people they had to live with, and that they were often dirty and inconsiderate.
Right. Great. So then we can move on to how our findings fit into...
That is the end of section 2.
Okay, we can stop there and try to figure out what is the key answer from number 11 until 30. So, do you think this part is difficult?
This part is it's very difficult for me.
Yeah,
It's really
I
hard to
agree with you.
understand.
Yeah, I also tried to do this part together with you actually, and I got
Okay.
one incorrect answer. So yeah, it's difficult for me as well. So let's start with number 11. What is your answer for number 11?
Number 11.
Or any number, any order, 11
yeah,
until
no.
14.
PM.
What is that? PM?
PM. Yes.
Yep, that's correct. And then
And then P
P, okay, that's correct.
and B
B, okay, and
and A.
this one?
I mean 14. Yeah, 14A.
Actually, it's in no matter. The order is not no matter. But actually, the
matter?
answer is I. Iya, karena di sini dia nggak peduli urutannya.
Oh, huh?
Yang penting adalah pilih 4 jawaban begitu.
Oh. Oh,
Jadi
tapi
kalau
aku
oh, diurutin.
Berarti aku salah satu ya?
Ya, salah satu betul.
Aha.
Harusnya yang
Aku
ini
kira akuntan. Harusnya yang
Introduction of
Economics.
Economics. I think that it should be introduction.
Introduction. Oh, yes.
But that's really great that you got 3 correct answer.
Thank you. But yeah, still wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. Just take notes on the instruction. If the instruction doesn't order you to put in order, then you can put it in any order.
Any order.
It's
Okay.
multiple answer. Like that.
Okay,
And then
okay.
for number 15, what is that? Called?
For number called statistic.
That's correct. Statistic. But you have to
Yeah.
remember statistic in bahasa Inggris with S. Statistics with S.
Statistic with S. Oh.
STATISTICS.
STICS. Oh, I didn't write the S at the end.
Yeah.
Statistics.
In the real past, if you forgot to put S behind, it will be marked as incorrect.
Oh, shit. But, okay.
Statistics. Like that.
Statistics.
Yep. And then for number 16?
For number 16, I'm not sure. Reading? Brush up. I
Brush
heard
up.
reading.
Course.
I think course. Oh,
Yeah, brush up course.
I'm wrong. Course.
And then number 17? Skimming and?
Skimming and scanning.
Yeah, that's correct. This one is easy. Skimming and scanning.
Yeah.
18?
18. Transparency.
No, this is
No?
exercises.
Oh, exercises.
Yes, the skill through a series of specially designed exercises. Should we listen to the recording again?
Yeah, yes, if you can.
Yep, of course I
Exer-
can do it. Let's try to listen to it. Wait.
Forms with prefixes and suffixes and so forth. It'll be clearer when you look at it. Anyway, designed exercises. Sometimes
Design exercise. Itu barusan.
Yeah,
question. For that, you'll have to do a range of specially designed exercises. Sometimes
That's it. Exercises.
Oh, yeah. exercises with S.
Yeah, with S.
Okay.
For exercise, you have to listen. Sometimes they do not put S, sometimes they put S.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
And for fisika, itu kita juga bilangnya physics with S.
Physics.
Yep,
Fisika.
with S. But kalau
Can
bilang
you spell it?
P P H sorry P H Y SICS.
ICS. Oh, okay.
PHYSICS. Physics. Fisika.
Physics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then economy is also with S. Economics with
Economics.
MICS.
MICS. Oh.
Yep. The subject
Okay.
is economics. If you talked about the topic is economy.
Okay. And we have to write economics.
Yeah, economics. Number 19, what is your answer?
I'm not sure. A?
It's B, the academic
Oh,
word
it's B?
list. Yeah.
Oh.
The academic word list.
Academic word list, not
I will
vocabulary.
share with you the link of this video and then later you can watch it again and turn on the subtitle.
Yeah. I always watch movie with subtitle.
And then number
Okay.
20.
Number 20. I don't know. B?
It's C. It's really
C?
clear that C. The speakers say 570.
Oh, 570? I didn't hear it.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. And the rest of it, you can check on the end of the video here. Actually, they put a keyword on the end of the video, but make sure that if you do practice, then look at the key answer first.
Yes, I have to.
Yep.
Bicaranya
Okay,
terlalu
so
cepat jadi agak pusing.
yeah, I agree with you. For this part, they go really fast, right?
Yes.
I got one incorrect as well here after I checked the key answer.
Terlalu cepat ya, harus dibiasain.
And then for this one, they also really fast for the number 30.
So number 30? Oh, yeah.
But I can get it correct, fortunately. For this one, I got incorrect. I don't know why. Okay, so that's it for the listening practice. Is there anything that you want to ask about our practice today?
Nothing, no. I don't have anything to ask.
And because you only have 2 weeks to your official task, I recommend you
Yes.
to practice a lot from this channel. They upload a practice, one single
IELTS.
practice every day, and you can try it.
Oh, okay. The IELTS listening test.
Yep, it is really recommended.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's all that I can teach you about listening IELTS, and we can talk about reading section on the next meeting.
Okay. So tomorrow.
Wait for a moment. Let me check. I forgot. Yes, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I don't
Tomorrow,
know.
but I will
9
confirm
or
the time later.
the time. All right. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming today and have a nice rest. Bye bye. See you.
Okay. Thank you. See ya.
See you.